Editing in Camtasia. We've learned about cameras and how to hook them up. Good job. Now we're going to look at the fact that we have media in here. What do we do with it? Now the easiest thing to kind of manage is the fact that, not everything has to be edited to death. But there are instructors and there are people, even me sometimes, that, we got these weird things that happen in the middle of a film session, and you're like, oh, I wish Bob didn't walk in on my session right there. It's always Bob's fault, after all. So what we're going to have to learn is how to cut some of that stuff out, cut breathing out maybe, and even cut out the idea that there's these words that we use all the time, and how if you took a speech class, you'll know exactly which words are just repeated over and over again, and it gets tiresome and very, very stale after a while of listening to that instructor say that word 52 times. So, down here below, if you drag this, got 2 clips. Just going to line these clips up, and we're going to look at editing. Let's cover what we've already done before. So if I have these 2 clips right here, and I go edit, split selected at playhead, it does that. Okay, we've already done that to death. I'm going to zoom in. Let's say I want this clump of audio right here from here to here. Okay, let's concentrate on this one because you can see it better. From here to here, I want this clump of audio gone. If I go Shift and Alt at the same time, I can highlight this area, and I can go Edit Ripple Delete. Okay, that's how you do that. Now, over in this area, I have a scenario that I'm going to set up. This scenario is simple. I'm going to have this scale to fit, so it's really large. And in the background, you can see that it's actually the desktop. So I'm going to take and fade in and fade out from the desktop. To do this, I start looking at these 3 buttons. The first one's Media and Library. Okay, these are all where your clips live. Here is all the transitions. Let's go to Fade Out. I'm going to drag this here. I don't know why that's doing it. There we go. And then I'm just going to kind of zoom in using this slider down below. Now, when I drag this over, this is the area at which it's going to live. This is fade out. If I hit the space bar, you can see it fades out from the one camera to the background. Same with fade in. So if I want to fade it back in, I can put that on the other side, drag that in, and you can see now it fades out and then fades back in to the camera. Okay, rather than switching these 2 back and forth like I have been doing in the prior video, that's a good way to handle that. It's a smooth transition between the 2, rather than a jerky transition. There are things that you can do too. Let's say if I'm covering a software application, like maybe I want to show the user that icon right there and focus in on it, there is a transition for that. It's called Smart Focus. So I can go like this and drag this down, drag it wherever I want, and the length of transition. So at the start of this, I have it normal. In the middle of it, I'm just going to scale in, move this around, and there I am looking at that icon. Then at the end, what I could do is zero this out. Just hit reset on all accounts. And now what will happen is it'll be like this. So again, over here, I might want to zero that out also. So That's how that works. And I can delete these by hitting delete, and they go away. If by chance when you delete them it becomes all wonky, you can always reset the scale in the X, Y, Z position. All right, so we got other things. Those are actions. Filters, I can make it so it's all black and white. I can make everything glow, or I can do a color adjustment. These are things I barely ever do, but they are available to you. And they are all just in click and drag on top of things, and then voila, it becomes magically there. Down below now, you can see I have a new adjustment based upon the actual effect that I dragged down here. So in this case, I got color adjustment now. There we go. And anytime I want to get rid of that, I can just simply click the remove filter icon. Transitions handle the same way. They're all categorized by actions, filters, transitions. And these are all the zoom in, zoom out, fade in, fade out. A thing I like doing all the time is the next bin. The next bin deals with audio. And in my humble opinion, audio is very important. It's like the key essentials to whatever you do as far as teaching somebody, because they all have to listen to your voice at one point. I can't stand when a tutorial gets released and it's all text. It's just impossible to actually focus in on it. So here, one thing I use all the time is noise reduction. This helps if people have very cheap microphones. I can just click and drag it down, and it affects only the green area, okay? In other words, if I have audio here, and then over here, I have to drag this to each one. And you can see it turns green. That's telling me that there's actually been some kind of noise reduction trick put on here. Noise reduction appears here. How noisy do you have it? Okay, and you can adjust it also here. A trick here is memorize your number. So if I do a number of 21, I want to go down here and also change that to a 21. And again, anytime I want to get rid of that, I can get rid of it just right there. What I would do is take a few seconds to play around with the three bins and what they do on like a tiny piece of video and get an understanding of how they work. I can cover each one of these, but really, to be honest with you, the best way to do this is to just practice and learn on just a practice clip, okay? Just knowing where they're at and a couple of the best ones, that's going to help you out. All right, when you're done, please move on to the next video.